Hello everyone, and thanks to Tees Valley Nature Partnership for inviting me to talk to you about local nature recovery strategies. Firstly, to introduce myself, my name is Stewart and I work in DEFRA's local delivery team. To start with, I'll talk a bit about what LNRSs are. LNRSs are a new system of spatial strategies for nature covering the whole of England, as established in the Environment Bill. They are designed as tools to drive more coordinated, practical and focused action to help nature. They will support the delivery of mandatory biodiversity net gain and provide a focus for a strengthened duty on all public bodies to conserve and enhance biodiversity. We anticipate each strategy will cover an area roughly county-sized. This will be established by the Secretary of State on a case-by-case basis, taking account of local circumstances. Each strategy will, for the area that it covers, agree priorities for nature's recovery, map the most valuable existing habitat for nature, and map specific proposals for creating or improving habitat for nature and wider environmental goals. The first way LNRSs will be delivered is through mandatory biodiversity net gain. There will be a financial incentive for developers to support the delivery of LNRSs in this mechanism. LNRSs have also been designed to dovetail with the planning system to help local planning authorities embed them in their local plans. We will continue to work closely with NHCLG as planning reforms and project speed progress to make sure this remains the case. We're also working closely with colleagues to align LNRSs with the new Environmental Land Management Scheme. LNRSs could therefore become a method of spatially prioritising interventions set out under the ELM scheme. The Environment Bill also introduces a new duty on public bodies to have a regards to any relevant LNRSs, which creates an incentive to engage with the creation of LNRSs and to take steps to support their delivery. Given the theme of this conference, I feel I should now mention how LNRSs go beyond nature recovery. A key feature of LNRSs is that they will identify where we should take action for nature recovery, as well as where nature-based solutions can help address wider environmental problems. This means an LNRS can identify actions that will achieve outcomes like climate change mitigation, where these actions are also positive for biodiversity. We're currently piloting the production of LNRSs in 5 areas in advance of full rollout across England. These areas are Buckinghamshire, Cornwall, Cumbria, Greater Manchester, and nearby Northumberland. But how will an LNRS work? The bill clauses state that each LNRS must contain 2 components, a statement of biodiversity priorities and a local habitat map. The statement of biodiversity priorities must include a description of the strategy area and its biodiversity, a description of the opportunities for recovering or enhancing biodiversity, the priorities for recovering or enhancing biodiversity, and proposals as to those measures relating to those priorities. We envisage this will be a written statement for each strategy area, possibly illustrated with photographs and high-level maps and published online. The local habitat map will identify the existing areas already important for biodiversity, overlaid with locations suitable for delivering the outcomes and measures identified in the Statement of Biodiversity Priorities. The map will ideally be interactive, allowing different layers of information to be highlighted and linking the relevant outcomes and measures to the proposed locations. So the pilots are following a step-by-step process in order to generate the Statement of Biodiversity Priorities and local habitat map. If I have kept to time, there should be a slide flashing up now showing the step-by-step process that an LNRS will follow. Here we go. The pilots will produce prototypes of these elements per the process I'll now set out. As you can see, there are 6, including step 0, steps that once completed form the 2 components of an LNRS. So step 0, this is where DEFRA Group provides a map of each LNRS area, including habitats and national conservation sites. This is the part of the clauses that requires the Secretary of State to provide national level data to the responsible authority creating the LNRS. It will include nationally held data, some of which is already publicly available, cut to the LNRS area. We're currently building up exactly what this package will look like and working closely with the pilot areas. On step 1, this is where locally held data is added to the map, including locally identified wildlife sites. So this could include data from a wide range of local sources, including an LNP. In fact, this is part of the process where some LNPs will be able to add significant value, as they've already developed fantastic data sets with a wide range of stakeholders. Step 2 in the process is the description of the LNRS area, including its key habitats and potential opportunities to create or improve them based on ecological sub-areas. The pilot team will use the data gathered in steps 0 and 1 to describe what they already have, what the important habitats are, and suggest some high-level opportunities. This step will look into the pressures on the area, for example, house building targets or habitat change due to climate change. In step 3, the identification of outcomes achieved through creation or improvement of habitat, there's a big collaborative exercise to bring a wide range of stakeholders in the area together to talk about what outcomes they want to see for their area. Many of the organisations involved today will be essential in this step once LNRSs are rolled out. Step 4 is about taking those outcomes and identifying potential measures for improving habitat to achieve the priority and the other outcomes. This is where the win-wins can be identified. Some measures can be taken that will cover multiple outcomes, priority or not. They'll be non-spatially specific at this point until we get into step 5. Step 5 is the mapping of the suitable locations for the delivery of the potential measures onto the map of existing habitat generated in step 0 and 1. This is where the LNRS becomes action-focused. The stakeholders will come together to look at where the potential measures can actually be delivered in the area. These measures are then layered on top of the maps developed in step 0 to 1. So combined, this makes up the local habitat map. So what does this mean for Tees Valley Nature Partnership? Tees Valley, with a coterminous LNP and combined authority, is well placed to start considering whether it is an appropriate geography for an LNRS. Local boundary issues will be important in considering whether it is an appropriate geography, but LNRSs are designed to work cross-boundary with neighbouring areas. LNPs do not meet the definition of a public body under the bill, but we anticipate they'll be heavily involved in the production of LNRSs, and those organisations that sit on LNPs will be key stakeholders in developing the LNRS. So that just about covers everything that I wanted to say on LNRSs. So thank you everyone for your time, and happy to take any questions in the panel session later on.